Okay, today we're going to build a wicking bed, which is definitely a tool for growing vegetables in an arid, horrible climate. But as you can see today, it's not very arid, is it? Because we just had 31 mils of rain. But seriously, we haven't had rain for 4 months and we've just had 2 rain events. So yes, but most of the time it's very, very dry and horrible and windy and these wicking beds are just the saviour of growing really good veggies. Not all veggies like wicking beds, but things like brassicas, absolutely love them because it's super nutrition and water supply to the plants. But like potatoes and corn doesn't do too well. Capsicums always have really good capsicums, or peppers if you like to call them that. Beetroot, all the lettuces, spinach. I'm sort of trying asparagus, but yeah, not really working. Beans, I've got some snake beans growing, and might be some few other beans. And here's my pièce de résistance, my pineapple. So yeah, not tomatoes haven't done too well, but other people might find different. But anyway, as you can see, I'm splish sploshing around. But yeah, going to build a wicking bed. So I do my wicking beds as cheap and cheerful as possible, using stuff I can get my hands on for free because I'm tight. So yeah, so these are IBCs, which lots of people use. And so this is an IBC cut in two, but you can use the wicking bed principle in any containers that are sealed. So yeah, I've done them in polystyrene boxes and small pots and things, but the IBC is obviously convenient. You can cut them in two and you get 2 for 1. So yeah, and I get these for free. And then what we're going to try and do is make a reservoir at the bottom and then a level where you grow the stuff. So it's sort of half and half. And the wicking bed principle is you can't really do any more than 30 centimetres of reservoir and 30 centimetres of growing medium. Well, I suppose you could do more reservoir, but the physics say wicking will only occur up to 30 centimetres, so it sort of conveniently works out half and half in these wicking beds. So what I've done in the bottom is, again, I've used things I can get my hands on, which are these seedling trays off of Ian Paulbrook. You might not know that I've got some of his trays, but I'm just trying to reduce the amount of gravel I'm going to use in a minute. And then you need, this is where your water's going to go in, so you're going to fill it up with a hose pipe, and then obviously that water needs to come out. So we've just drilled holes in this pipe, and we found this size pipe's good because it's easy to get your hand in and get all the slugs out if you get slugs. But you can do what you like. You can do a small pipe, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, this is what we do. So, and I'm gonna just wrap this pipe in some weed matting that I've got, that again, didn't really buy it for this and had it lying around, but you could use shade cloth or just something you can just wrap around to stop any dirt going into that tube. So yeah, and this is Neela. Hello, Neela. So yeah, let's get to it. Started filling up with the gravel. I'm on my own here at the moment, so I'm having to shovel all myself. But you can see that I've just wrapped that pipe in a bit of that weed matting, and then just secured it with some cable ties. But yeah, a bit more shoveling, it should be done. So there you go, I've done my gravel. It could be a little bit higher maybe, but yeah, it's nearly there. But I really can't bother to go get any more. So that's all there's going to be. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this weed matting. But again, you can use shade cloth, old trampoline, something that's, you know, permeable but it's not going to break down. So you can't use hessian or anything like that. It has to be something plasticky because it's going to be the barrier between the soil and the reservoir. So I'm just going to fit that in and make it go up the side so nothing can get through, and then yeah, I'll show you what happens. Okay, so I've lined it, started to fill with sand. This is quite nice red sand that was always here at this property, so I'm using that because it's here. But if I didn't have that, I'd be using some gutless white sand I could get my hands on, and just kind of line it so you're pushing out this liner so no soil's going to get down into your reservoir. So I'm going to continue filling with that sand, and then I'm going to go and get some compost and some chook bedding and a bit more sand and sort of make a nice cake mix. And then hopefully, if I don't sweat to death, because it's like a Queensland kind of sweat going on because of all this rain, and it's like, you know, I'm paddling in the Somme, for Christ's sake, look at it. So I'll see how I go anyway. So we're nearly there now. Just done another layer of sand, and then just dug out some of the good stuff, which is the worm castings. But I forgot to say that you obviously need to make a hole, because I filled up the reservoir and I thought, oh my god, I haven't got the drill to put the hole in. I spent half an hour trying to find the drill heads for the drill. But anyway, so I've just put a rudimentary hole a bit quick in there, so that's at the level of the gravel, or just above the gravel, so that it will never fill any further up than that. And then just put a cap on. This is why I do that size pipe, because it conveniently fits those pots on the top, just to stop like snails and rubbish going in. And then, like, this is the bottom of an IBC, so it's automatically got the tap at the bottom, but obviously if you use the top part, then you have to sort of make your own tap if you want to actually drain out completely, because they do say you're supposed to drain them out completely once a year, but I've never done that yet, so up to you. Obviously it's more convenient using the bottom parts, and then maybe you only want to use, you don't cut them in half and you use a whole IBC, or just cut the top off, and so you've got a bit more height. So up to you, whatever. So yeah, this is the worm farm stuff I've just dug out from a worm. So lots of lovely worms, but it's not really the worms I'm chasing, it's the worm casting. So I'm going to incorporate that in to the soil, and that's just going to make the soil alive, because at the moment, you know, sand's not got a lot going for it, and compost is all right and that, but you just need like a biological activator, which is that worm castings. You know, that's loads of worm castings to go into here to make it all exciting. So I incorporate the worm castings. So what you're trying to end up with is quite a sort of sandy loam, not too clay, whatever you do. This is quite sandy on the top, because obviously when I plant the plants, they're going to like that kind of sandy substrate. And then I've kind of got the chook bedding further under, because obviously it's quite nitrogen rich, and then mixed in with the compost, which I get delivered by the truckload by Jerobi, which is just outside Dalwallinu, which is an organic compost that they make, which is, yeah, brilliant stuff. You need to incorporate it in with sand and that, but it's dynamite. And then obviously the top, I am putting mulch, which is the most important thing. I use this loop-in mulch that I buy in, but you know, I sometimes use pea mulch that I've made myself, or you could use wood chips if you got that, whatever, just something that keeps the moisture in. So yeah, and then I'll probably leave it for a couple of days, and then I will plant it. But yeah, and then hopefully we'll get some more rain and it will just rain it all in. If not, I will give it a bit of a water. But yeah, it will hopefully look like this soon. Brilliant.